Having the process.
Away from the Middle East, let's now turn to the U.S., where the lawyer representing Tyree Nichols' family has called on the U.S. Congress to pass urgent police reform legislation in the wake of his death. This comes as the Memphis Police Department disbanded the Scorpion Special Unit, whose officers are accused of murdering Tyree Nichols. The unit is a 50-person team tasked with bringing down crime levels in particular areas. The unit is being abolished after his officers were seen beating Mr. Nichols in the videos from 7th January. The video has so far sparked protests in some parts of the U.S., and we'll have more in this report.
Reactions have continued to trail the death of 29-year-old Tyree Nichols, with renewed calls for police reform. Dozens of protesters gathered outside the residence of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. They're calling for an end to police brutality. Cities nationwide have braced for protests after board cam footage showed Memphis officers beating 29-year-old Nichols, who died of his injuries 3 days after January 7 attack. Protests in Memphis, as well as New York City, Los Angeles, Portland, and Oregon, have been scattered and non-violent, with the list of other names of those who have been killed at the hands of police mentioned at the protest ground. A protester, while reacting to the death of Nichols, calls for the study of black history.
It's really sad. And you would think everything that the civil rights movement went through, and I know it's off subject a little bit, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's why they don't want us to learn black history. When you learn black history, you don't do stuff like that to your black brothers and sisters, or nobody else will do it, but especially your own kind. Especially. It shouldn't happen, period. There's no place for it. But it's sad.
Did you see the video?
I can't watch it completely. I watched bits and pieces of it, but it hurts. It really hurts.
The Memphis branch of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, at a news conference, discussed the violent arrest of Tyree Nichols. The branch president, Van Turner, is calling for justice.
And we are still here in this state and in this city to fight for him, to fight for justice, to fight for Tyree Nichols, to fight for all the other black and brown individuals who have been pulled over, who've been harassed, who've been assaulted, who've been brutalized at the hands of officers who have assigned themselves and taken on a culture of terror. And so Ben Crump stated at the last conference, at the last press conference, that we need to cancel this culture. This culture where jump and grab is okay. This culture where you can beat and stomp and billy club and spray and ask the questions later. That's not good law enforcement, and we don't support that type of law enforcement. So the Scorpion unit has been disbanded. Yes. And that is something that has been asked for. And we want to ask for more. All the officers who were involved, all those who were first responders involved should be held accountable. Yeah.
Though the Memphis Police Department has disbanded the Scorpion Special Unit, whose officers are accused of murdering Tyree Nichols, more calls for justice and police reform linger.